see? You see the precipitation. It continues to fall. And it's a real dense mist right now. It's a driving rain. We've had better than over an inch of rain, and we are underway in the season finale. Go over to the far side. It's going to be brought back by Aaron Horn. Man on the short kick. Good return across the 25. He's got it out to the 28. So the Cyclones of Iowa State from the 28. And offensively, well, Jared Barnett gets ready for his 5th career start. Hayworth Hicks has really improved his lot as the type of play he's had at right guard.
Well, big, powerful right guard, and Darius Reynolds is kind of their go-to wide receiver when Barnett does throw it. And this is a guy that can extend the play. Very quick, very athletic, and he's really been the guy that has given them the momentum behind this late season push, winning 3 in a row when he took over.
James White, he's in the backfield. Now, on a double move, contact, and a flag comes out. He wanted to go to Darius Reynolds, his senior from Woodbridge, Virginia. So the D-back on that side with too much contact with the ball in the air. So 1 snap, and already it looks like a pass interference call.
Well, they went to Darius Reynolds. Mentioned he's the go-to guy. Try to get him on a double move.
Pass interference. Number 2. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Called it on the safety. Tyson Hartman.
Well, you see Reynolds coming on the double move, and Hartman comes over the top, and he just gives him that push, and so that's the call. It's a good call.
Both got contact.
You can see, though, that they got a game plan for Reynolds. They're going to be banging him all day.
White in the backfield playing with a gimpy shoulder. And there was some question whether he'd be ready to go. Barnett just falls on it on the low snap. So already we see the snap come down low, slick to begin with. And maybe the weather had something to do with that. Defensively for K-State. And their 4-3 alignment. Volker's the playmaker on the outside.
Yeah, I like Volker a great deal. And then Arthur Brown has been their all-everything middle linebacker this year, the transfer from Miami. And Nigel Malone, with 7 interceptions, is the thief in that secondary.
After the loss of 6, give it off. And that's a return man who's gotten time now. Jarvis West, a little guy at 5'7", 165, due to the injury to Josh Lenz. But good recovery by Kansas State as he tried to cut it back. It'll be only 3 up to the 41.
And I thought it was interesting watching Barnett on the fumbled snap from Farniak, the rookie or freshman center. First thing he did was just fall on it. Did not take any chances early in the game. He's wearing gloves right now because the ball is slick to try and protect the ball from slipping out of his hand.
So he empties it. 5 wide receivers in the set. Looks at the shallow cross. He's got it. It's complete to Reynolds, and he gets the first down. As he's pushed down by Lemur, the strong side backer who caught up from behind. It took a while. He came all the way across the field, and Barnett found him.
Well, he got him on a shallow cross, but you got to handle the pressure. And this is what Barnett can do. He can escape the pocket. He can take the hit and then get it in the hands of the playmaker, like he did to Reynolds.
So from their own 28 after the pass interference call, and then the negative yardage off the first snap that put him off schedule. It's a first down now. In K-State territory, the Wildcats 41. Good shield over to the right side, and a good drive by White for 5 down to the 36. Our Coors Light game plan coming in for Iowa State.
And, you know, in this type of weather, ball security is huge. Kansas State, that's been their theme all year, taking care of the football. And then they want to make Colin Klein throw the ball rather than run it today. And then they had tremendous emotion a couple weekends ago when they beat Oklahoma State and Ames. If they can play with that type of emotion and it can overcome some deficiencies talent-wise.
Sophomore from Dallas. James White in the backfield with the redshirt freshman Barnett. It's White again. Arthur Brown has been a sensational player from the first snap of the season for the K-State Wildcats, the junior from Wichita.
Well, we met with him yesterday, and he is a very confident player, very articulate. Here he is in the middle, and he's just going to come to the ball. That's what he does. He follows the ball. You see him he starts moving a little bit early, anticipates the play. That's what happens when you spend hours and hours in the film room. You start to see the tendencies that Iowa State has.
3rd and about 4. Trips on the wide side of the field. Barnett looking again, waiting, and it's in and out of the hands of Aaron Horn. It got there, and then it was pried loose. Now was it Brown again?
Yeah,
with David Garrett.
It was Arthur Brown picking up the crossing route of Horn, and this Arthur Brown is a complete player. Horn's just going to run the shallow cross. Actually, that's a heck of a play. How about that one? I mean, he bumped the receiver on the drive route, and then he picks up the underneath route. That's the play of a middle linebacker in the NFL to be able to do those kind of things.
Yeah, what a read. What great awareness, as you mentioned. It'll be 4th and 4. Barnett underneath again, slightly behind, and it cost him. It's complete, but Darius Darks, I don't believe he got the first down. He couldn't get a yard after he had to go back to get it. And they hold after a gain of only 3. Brown and Chapman on the coverage.
Well, Brown came on a delayed blitz. He got in the face. You're going to see Brown's going to come on a delay up the middle. But then on the backside, you're going to get Chapman, who does a good job of separating Horn from the ball. Well, actually, just driving him short there, huh?
If it's in front of him,
so
it's a first down.
They haven't moved the chains yet.
No, it's a first down. K-State, they take over on downs. Colin Klein ready to go, and nobody in the backfield with him. Now it's John Hubert. Man, there goes Colin Klein. Look out. He's got a first down. Gain of 12, almost 13. Colin Klein, the 6'5", 225-pound junior from Loveland, Colorado. Behind Clyde Offner, the senior from Raymore, Missouri, on the right side.
Starting his 32nd game for Kansas State. Chris Harper is physically a stud, as strong and big as anybody in the country. When he gets his hands on it, he's hard to bring down.
Angelo Peace takes over in the backfield. Not many carries for him. Klein, quarterback run all the way, and not much. Still, his length and his savvy gets him 3 out of the play from the 45 to the 48. Now defensively, for Iowa State, in their 4-3 alignment, Neal has been making plays, the senior from West Des Moines.
Wow, he's his 28th start, and Jake Knott leads his team in tackles. He gets to the football. Leonard Johnson, I mean, he's done some fantastic work this year, shutting down Blackman and Oklahoma State, some big receivers here in the Big 12. They don't throw his way a whole lot.
Jake Knott second of the Big 12 in stops per game. They've got 2 of the best tacklers in the Big 12, and Jake Knott and A.J. Klein. On 2nd and 7, the zone read. Hubert not completely shut off the play, turned him in. And the other backer was there as well, Taufo.
Yeah, well, for Kansas State, it's run, run, run. I mean, that's whether it's in Colin Klein's hands or Hubert's hands, they're going to run it. And then they want to contain Jared Barnett defensively, not let him get out of the pocket. And Kansas State takes great pride in the kicking game in all phases of it, whether it's the returns, whether it's the field goals, whether it's handling the ball. Winning the kicking game is what they pride themselves in.
It'll be 3rd and 9 from the K-State 46.
They want to try to make Klein throw the ball here.
Pocket starting to collapse, and so does Colin Klein. He's brought down. Rumpelhammer got him from behind, the senior from Tulsa. Coverage sack, though, and they were in press on 2 of the 3 receivers.
Well, it was just a 4-man rush, but the coverage held up down the field. Really no place for Klein to throw it. And at 6'5", he can see over the trees, but when it collapses on him, even Colin Klein couldn't escape that type of pressure. Good series by Iowa State.
Ryan Dorr punting to Aaron Horn. So 1 first down and a punt. And downwind, a wobbler that's going to hit inside the 20 and roll out of bounds near the 19. So both teams have had it. Fielding on process is over, and Iowa State yet kind of pours into you. And what loyalty. And since Bill Snyder took over 20 years ago, the loyalty and the tradition they've built at K-State, one of the winningest programs in the Big 12 since it was formed in 1996. Now Iowa State gets it back on their 2nd possession of the game. Joel Myers, Brian Baldinger, Jim Knox. On this chilly day, it's wet now. It could be white later. Jeff Woody in the backfield with redshirt freshman Jared Barnett. Only his 5th career start. They stay, and Woody's got a nice hole close. He still gets 5. As they showed that jet from Jarvis West, he's brought down by Meshack Williams. You know, when we talked to the head coach, Paul Rhodes, as the Cyclones want to go up tempo about Jared Barnett, he's a coach's son, and there were so many attributes he mentioned. The way he looks at the game, independent thinker, good decision maker, and they saw that very early.
And he's from Garland, Texas. And Texas just happens to put out just a few quarterbacks in college football these days.
Yeah, they coach him up in high school in the state of Texas. Now on 2nd and 4, a bullet. West has it, and he's got a first down. That's just across the 30. Let's head back and join Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, Joe, continue to drizzle, and we'll do this all game long. The field is just slopping wet. One of the keys today, the ball boys. This is Joey of Iowa State. He keeps it under his jacket. The ball is dry right here, guys. But as all of a sudden it starts hitting the field more and more in this game, Joey only has one jacket. He can only keep a few balls dry. The ball will be extremely slick. Ball handling key today, guys. Way to go, Joey.
Now Woody again just barreling his way across the 35. Paul Rhodes also mentioned to us, when you consider that in 8 of their games they have had 3 or more turnovers, he said, just think about 6 and 5. He said, it's pretty remarkable that they are 6 and 5 because they have been their own worst enemy putting the ball on the ground.
Yeah, and for Jared Barnett, his big question really since he's taken over 4 games ago is accuracy. He's been accurate in practice. He hasn't been able to take it over to the games quite yet.
Now Woody trying to get outside, does that, gets into the secondary. Brown's got him, but it's across the 50. And as Brown pulls him down, you wonder about the shoulder of James White. 2 carries, and already Woody has taken over.
Well, Woody is the big bruiser. And so he's just going to take this ball and come over to the left side, but he's got power. And this is a game where you kind of want your big back to take over. You want him to pound him. You can see that he's got ability to cut, but he's 240-plus pounds. He's a guy I think they're going to see quite a bit of today.
Well, good news. White is back into the game. Barnett makes a mess and goes down, but got back to the line of scrimmage when it looked like he was going to be wiped out by David Garrett off the edge. He's brought down and tripped up by Adam Davis, the left end.
He came in after Iowa State had lost 4 games in a row, and offensively they needed a spark. They went to Barnett. He immediately helped them beat Texas Tech. Then a close game against Kansas, and then the big upset and his best game ever against Oklahoma State. 3 wins in a row, coming in as the redshirt freshman.
Looks over for the play call on 2nd and 10. And you see ball security. It's wet and he's down. So the play completely out of rhythm on that zone read with James White as soon as it went down. Williams in the backfield and Latui.
Now he's got the glove on his left hand, but on his throwing hand, it's just his hand right there, and that's just a drop. The ball is there, and the important thing is he doesn't compound the bad play with another one by trying to do too much. But can Iowa State continue to overcome the negative plays with the snap right now?
Well, and one snap was at his feet.
Yeah.
It went right down along the ground. That was a little bit low. It's going to be 3rd and 14. Throwing into triple coverage and almost picked off by Hartman. He wanted to go over to the far side to Horn. And a dangerous throw.
And that's the accuracy, because really that ball probably shouldn't have been thrown, but it sailed on him. It's got a pretty good wobble on it, and really Hartman had the best shot for the ball. So that's an issue that he has got to constantly keep working on, is improving his game day accuracy.
Jermaine Thompson waits for the Vanderkamp punt. Yeah, one of the better ones in the Big 12. He was 2nd team all-conference last year, 44-yard average and great hang time. As now, K-State will have it, but deep in their own territory. When we come back, is it scoreless so far in Manhattan? Chilly, gray day. And we feel fortunate to be here. This is the first December home game for the Wildcats since 1896. And I wish they were playing 2 more.
Were you there?
I mean it. Don't want this season to end. It's on a play fake to Hubert, and Colin Klein wrapped up immediately. For Uppelhammer, got to him after a gain of only 1.
But you see that run by Colin Klein? I mean, he just sticks his head into the belly of the defense. I mean, play after play, game after game. Top rushing quarterbacks, Colin Klein, over 1,000 yards in climbing. It was a great season by Denard Robinson. His year is finished.
Well, he's 6th overall among running backs and quarterbacks in the Big 12. The average is 92 yards a game. It'll be a 2nd and 9. Little stunt and a loop. Yeah, they're going to get to Klein, although he maintains his balance, and now he's finally dropped. Neal got him. They should have had him. Jake McDonough actually had the sack, the junior from Urbandale, and then Neal cleaned up late.
But listen, Joel, this is good coverage down the field. You can see Colin Klein is scanning the field. But when as soon as he takes his head down like that, the play, he's not going to find anything down the field. He's got to learn to keep his head up and his eyes down the field to find the receiver. Otherwise, he's got to throw that ball away.
And he didn't put it up for grabs because they don't beat themselves.
That's true. But that's Jake Knott in coverage. That's a very good corner down the field, and Leonard Johnson.
Now out of the gun. On 3rd and long, 14, almost 15. Here comes the heat again. He eludes the pressure, and it's dropped by Hubert in the flat. So we talked about the slick pigskin. Man, it got away from Hubert.
Let's just watch the fundamental here of Colin Klein. Because it's just a 4-man rush. There's no blitzing by Iowa State. But now he keeps at least his eyes down the field that time. That's just a drop by Hubert. But really, Iowa State, this is a great game plan, forcing Colin Klein to throw the football. That's exactly what they want to do.
Should get great field position. Horn sees a wobbler and backs up. Man, it almost got one of the Cyclones going by.
Did it?
It did not, though. It almost got jams. And now it's going to be, after a very good punt and a nice roll for Dorr, it'll be the Cyclones' ball at their own 35. As Paul Rhodes does.
He's the messenger.
He is so passionate about what he does. Now White with a huge hole up the middle. He's into the secondary, and he's got it across the 45 for a gain of 13 out to the 48. So as we get together and we talk to Paul Rhodes, he's really easy to like.
Well, watch this hole right up the middle here behind the freshman center, Tom Farniak and Ethan Tufte. That hole just split wide open, and White hit it full speed.
You and I could get through that hole. And it's complete. Just a little pivot play. Albert Gary got it. Albert Gary's been hot. He's had 16 catches over the previous 3 games, and he's got another first down. So they're moving the ball. The field position belongs to Iowa State. They better take advantage of it and get some points, though.
No question about it. And that throw, that time by Barnett was right on the money to Gary, who had the big game against Oklahoma State 2 weeks ago. Had the 7 catches and a touchdown. Over 100 yards of receiving against the Cowboys.
It'll be a first down outside of the 41. So back-to-back first downs. Woody will get it over to the left side, and he barrels his way for about 6 down to the 36.
I like Woody. They call him the big bruiser, and that's what he is. Probably a little ding into the shoulder. You see the tape coming off with the left shoulder pad.
I didn't think you'd like a finesse guy.
Right.
I mean, it just goes hand in hand that you'd like Woody.
But that's the kind of guy that sort of comes out of nowhere in a game like this. Bad conditions, wet field. Those are the kind of guys that thrive in it.
It'll be White. His call this time. And a little bit of a lane over to the left side. Short of the first down by a yard.
It's all about having a good lane. That goes to what we were doing last night in our little bowling tournament.
Classic bowling tournament put together by our producer. Just 24 men strong. Now, on 30 yard, guess who? Barrel-chested Jeff Woody.
I saw Kalechi Osemele, the left tackle, get knocked out of the way. Woody ran right into the back of the all-pro left tackle. He doesn't mind.
So it started back at the Iowa State 35. And now Kansas State.
Look at that face mask.
The point of the drive is at the K-State 30. Woody stays in there.
Good power football by Iowa State.
Oh, little gadget play. And it's going to be a jump ball in the end zone. Touchdown, Iowa State. Darius Darks wins that one.
What a day for a little gadgetry. Why not? They'll throw back to the quarterback. He could have had either receiver. Two receivers were wide open down the field, but Darks timed that jump perfectly.
So a little flea flicker on Nigel Malone.
Oh, nice throw this time. Gave his receiver. You see, Darks just put Malone on his back. Just played a little low post basketball with him to bring that ball down.
2:01 to play as Geyer is in for the point after, and a clean exchange. Placements are going to be critical this afternoon. So Iowa State, trying to pull off the upset, has the first point of the contest. A look back, though, on the play. It wobbled at the end, but as you say, the receiver had the position like a seal on the boards.
Well, the power football game, you know, Arthur Brown steps right up. Okay, and now Barnett gets a clean pocket, puts a lot of air under the ball, but watch this positioning of Malone. Perfect job by Darks of keeping him on his back, and you got nothing but blowing kisses at the K-State fans here today.
So it's a 30-yard touchdown pass on a drive that started back at the 35.
And you said, Joel, that they had to take advantage of the position, the field position that they've been getting because of great defense, and they did that time. And look, I thought that was a great call off play action, a little bit of gadgetry, but a great play by Barnett and Darks in the end zone.
Graham Mahoney will kick it away. They have two place kickers. And now the high short one is going to be picked up by Thompson at the 18. Took it away from a teammate and takes a pop going across the 30 out to the 32. Walker Lee Woods on the coverage. Well, the winner earns the Big 12's automatic BCS berth later tonight. Bedlam. And it is a special series between Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. 8 of the 12 in the Big 12, at least 8 of the 10, they're going bowling. And unfortunately, news we didn't like to see out of College Station, a good guy losing his job, Mike Sherman.
He sure did. He did a great job of recruiting. Unfortunately, they had a bunch of fourth quarter collapses throughout the season. One of those losses to Kansas State, a key early season loss to Oklahoma State. I hate to see it because Mike's a good coach and a good man.
Now Calvin Klein lofting it and perfectly timed. It's caught. Going the distance, Tremaine Thompson. Touchdown, K-State.
Who said you can't throw the ball in inclement weather? It's football weather, and Colin Klein answers right back with a big play of his own.
He beat safety Jacques Washington. And was it ever. Lofted beautifully for his man to run under it.
Well, Tremaine Thompson is their speedster. He's only 5'7", but they got him matched one-on-one with the safety, ran right by him.
Cantelli for the point after. Man, just like that. So we had a 30-yard score, and on the very next snap after the change of possession, a 68-yard pass.
Here's this. You're going to see the isolation by Thompson on the play, and a perfectly thrown ball by Colin Klein. Doesn't get enough credit for his ability to throw the deep ball with touch, but you can't lay it up any better, and that's what you want your speedster to do. He never looks behind him. Trust that his speed's going to get to the end zone and nobody's going to catch him.
So a guy that's known for his rushing touchdowns. You see what he's done over the last 3, the previous 8, but it's 25 rushing touchdowns. That's the story coming into the game. Only 2 off the national record for quarterbacks, only 2 off the Big 12 season record held by the old Texas Longhorn Ricky Williams.
But his passing is improved the last 3 weeks. Colin Klein, a former receiver himself, converted to quarterback, got a younger brother that they say could be as good as what Jordy Nelson was here a couple of years ago. Going to be a wide receiver for him down the road.
Aaron Horn's going to bring the kickback from his own 5. And a big wall over to the right side. Going to the outside, great return by Aaron Horn as he's collared and dropped. Knocked out of bounds to the 45 by Matthew Pearson. Well, tomorrow, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Falcons head to Houston. Good matchup taking on the Texans. Then in America's Game of the Week, Packers looking to stay undefeated as they battle the Giants. Coverage all starts tomorrow with the Bill Ford's Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, noon Eastern, check your listings for the game in your area.
You know, the Packers have a 17-game winning streak going back to last year, and it started with a Week 16 victory against the Giants a year ago when they put up 45 points. They haven't lost a game since.
Slide the tight end, Hammerschmidt in motion. Barnett throwing on first down, or will he? Trying to make a miss, but it was Garrett from behind, and Adam Davis as well. Adam Davis, the left end, on top of him.
Well, it's just a four-man rush, and Barnett thought that he could kind of dodge and dart by some time. He does have this type of quickness, but good hustle by Davis coming from behind him to finish him and knock him for a yard loss.
And it's a sack. It's a loss of a yard. Now the quick one to the outside to Josh Lenz. Lenz making the first one miss. And he's just shy of a first down by about a yard. Dropped by Tyson Hartman. And wait a minute, they put it down at the first down marker. Move the chains. Good job by Josh Lenz, the junior from Dubuque.
So just take a look at Jared Barnett throwing the ball here off the play action. He's got a good, quick, compact motion. He's only 6 foot tall, but the ball snaps out of his hands. If he becomes more accurate in these games, this kid's a kid that we're going to be talking about in the Big 12 for a number of years.
Well, he's only 6 feet, but as we talked to Paul Rhodes, that has not been an issue. Between and in and out of the hands of Hammerschmidt, the tight end. Good coverage. They had him sandwiched completely.
Well, when you throw the ball underneath against Kansas State, you're going to get good linebacking play and good secondary play. They're going to hit you now. Their eyes are up. They're very fundamentally sound, and so you get your hands on the ball. You've got to squeeze it and tuck it away immediately.
It'll be 2nd and 10. White stays in the backfield. Final minute. Very entertaining first quarter. Nice alley over to the left side. White making a miss. Now he gets a block. Look out. Inside the 20. Should he wait? To the 5. He's all the way to the 1. Garrett, and I said should he wait because he had a wide receiver. Actually had Barnett, the quarterback, trying to come up and apply a block for him.
Well, I tell you, James White came in a little banged up today, but he doesn't look banged up. This is a big-time play now. Because that cut and that making Kansas State miss 2 tackles, and now you see the breakaway speed down to the yard line.
It's Woody going up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Iowa State. As we'll look back, because I believe it was 9, not 8 potentially. Hollis, who had that long run. Duran Hollis, a redshirt freshman from Fort Worth, yes. So White, we talked about the shoulder injury. Woody gets into the end zone. But we'll look back because it was, I believe, 9 who had the run, not 8. But it all set up. Some beautiful blocking as Geyer is in for the point after.
Iowa State's offense is clicking. Some big plays in the first quarter.
And it's blocked. Alive on the ground, and that'll do it. We talked about what K-State does in special teams. Raphael Guidry, senior from Texas, got in there.
Unbelievable, Rhodes says, but that's what Kansas State thrives on, making these kind of plays in the kicking game.
It looked like Guidry straight up the middle.
And Guidry is 94. He's right over the center. Yep, got both hands on the ball. He is a powerful man, a senior, one of those 22 seniors, and makes his presence felt right up the middle. You can't take a play off.
Now look back at the run, and it is Duran Hollis.
Yes, it is. The guy they call Duck. This is Duck weather. It's a good pull that time by the center. Farniak gets a good block on the outside, getting Hollis to the open field. His first carry of the game. Just the freshman, and then the big bruiser punches it in. Big plays for the Cyclones here in the first quarter.
Thompson waits for the kick. It'll be a short one taken at the 20. Covered well, though. Yeah, he is dropped at about the 27-yard line. Well, Hollis, at the beginning of the year, in the first few games, Hollis was wearing number 24. So the redshirt freshman from Fort Worth switched to number 9. It's a 5'9", 205-pounder. So we talked about the shoulder injury with White. And there's the conversation with the running backs coach.
Well, they're using all 3 of them, obviously, here today. And what a splash that the man they call Duck makes in his first carry.
It's run the 26 for K-State. So on senior day, they play catch-up once again. Hubert, and now a gadget play going the other way. But Iowa State stays at home for Chris Harper, who's trying to get back to the line and does exactly that. Maybe a yard before Teron Benton forces him out of bounds. Boy, Iowa State assignment and positioned very well on the play. And Iowa State with a strong start over the first 15 minutes. They're on top of the road 13-7. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. We get ready for the start of the second quarter. First 4 possessions for these two teams, nothing doing. And all of a sudden, it all broke loose. Started with a flea flicker. Darius Darks, jump ball, 30-yard pass. Iowa State with the first points of the contest. And then on the very first snap of the next possession, Thompson locked it beautifully by Colin Klein for 68 yards. It was all even at 7 until Duran Hollis. And there's the third back already employed today by Iowa State. Took it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Garrett saved the touchdown, but Woody was ready on the next one. And that's where it stands after a blocked extra point by Raphael Guidry. It's a 6-point lead. So Iowa State moving the football consistently, as opposed to the one big play so far. 68 of the 75 yards for K-State on that touchdown pass.
Well, Iowa State's ready to play today, and they've got a good game plan, and they're attacking them in a lot of different ways. Woody with the second touchdown for the Cyclones today.
First snap of the second quarter. It'll be 2nd and 9, K-State. Klein on a quarterback draw. Turning the corner. Man, look at him go. That's what he's done all season. He's a long strider. He's not exceptionally fast. He's a tough kid at 6'5", 220 pounds.
See, I would differ a little bit, Joe. I think he's got top-end speed. It just takes him a little while to get there because of that stride. So now he gets to, like, open up here. Now the speed is gaining. You know, now he's able to outrun the secondary, get out of bounds, and pick up the first down. I don't think he's got great quickness inside a phone booth. But once he gets open, I think he runs in the 4-5 category.
And the one thing Bill Snyder kind of emphasized when we spoke with him earlier this week, his toughness.
Yeah.
The respect he has from his teammates because he is so tough. Hubert, he just barrels his way up the middle for 5. Out to the 47. Tripped up by Cleon Lang.
We talked to Bill Snyder about his offensive line that protects Colin Klein. He just said they're maulers. You know, they're not fancy. You got Zach Hansen, he's 6'8". Not a lot of guys 6'8", the left tackle, can bend, but that's what they do up there. Put them in the buffet line and put them out there on the line and let them go ball people.
And that's what they do. And Paul Rhodes concurred with that. The head coach for Iowa State, Hubert, little crease, he's got a first down. Paul Rhodes said they may not be the most talented offensive line we'll see, but I don't think there's any question the most physical offensive line we'll see this year.
Well, take a look at Jake Knott, number 20, in the screen. He's going to go find the football now. He takes on one of those maulers. As soon as he takes on a mauler, here comes Hubert, just blasting him. But that's how you become the leading tackler, for the Cyclones, and one of the best tacklers in the nation, is by being able to fight off those blocks of the maulers.
It's a first down on the drive that started back-to-back first downs for K-State. First time that's happened today. Started back at their own 26. Little counter action, and Hubert finds the hole. He's inside the 40, down to the 39. Now they're picking up some chunks. That was good for 8.
Little delay handoff that time by Klein, but very traditional. From underneath the center, just kind of like a little delayed draw on the handoff, but it's going to open up right in the middle. Good double team at the point. Excellent job by the right guard, Colton Freeze, the senior, opening up some lanes inside.
And A.J. Klein right out of the play. 2 minutes into the second quarter. A 6-point lead for Iowa State. It's an ugly, gray, wet day in Manhattan, Kansas. Same play, other side. Van Hubert gets the first down. He's down to the 35.
B.J. Finney is the center. Colton Freeze, the right guard. Nick Pitts, the left guard, doing a good job up front. Good double teams. Good job at the point. You look up, and lo and behold, there's a nice 4-yard gain on first down.
They are big across the offensive line. That's who you're looking at. He's 6'4", There's Finney, 6'4". 6'4", Offner 6'6", 6'8" on the left side. Zach Hansen. Now the play fake. Little chip for Klein, and a resourceful one, but off the fingertips of Braden Wilson. So Klein got away from the initial push, and then almost made a play out of it.
Well, he stepped up because he saw the outside contain coming at him. Nice spot for the mouth guard right on the top of the helmet. They can get the play calls out to the maulers up front. He'll take it off of his helmet, stick it back in. There you go. There's a habit and a ritual play-to-play for Colin Klein.
2nd and 10 outside of the 35. Hubert will join him on the jet. He'll go short side. And nice lane on that side. First down, Colin Klein, as he's pushed out at the 20. You like that block by Finney?
Nice job. You mentioned the patience, Joel. And really, he wasn't in too big of a hurry. He kind of just let the maulers do their job on the outside. Little fake on the jet sweep. Now just patient, just getting behind him, and then just a quick burst. And he never just goes out of bounds.
Ball to center.
Yeah, that's Freeze. That's a nice job of running by Klein, the guy that carries it over 20 times a game, average.
He's got trips on the wide side of the field. Man, there's movement. It's on right away.
False start offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's been a pretty amazing season for Bill Snyder as we look back on that false start.
Well, that's the right guard, Colton Freeze. He's the senior. This is his final home game, and no telling exactly what made him move. Colin Klein does a lot of the counts, sometimes silent if it gets too noisy in there.
I asked Bill earlier this week if he could have ever seen this team as a 9-2 team, and he said he's been wrong so many times when he's tried to predict.
Yeah.
He stopped doing it a long time ago.
Probably good exercise to stop it. Just leads to a lot of disappointment some years.
It'll be a 1st and 15. And now, middle of the field's available. Knocked away at the last second from Chris Harper. Well timed by Jeremy Reeves.
Nice play by Reeves. And this secondary is talented of Iowa State because Harper is a big target. I thought it was thrown a little bit behind him, but nice job of timing the jump by Reeves. Harper's about 225 pounds, and the ball was well thrown by Klein.
And timing it without hooking the guy. So often you see the left arm and the hand.
Well, he's got a vertical leap, Joel. That's just hang time.
And Reeves is only 5'7".
Yep.
So that means he's 5'6" if they list him at 5'7".
You never believe that size chart, do you?
It's like basketball. 6'8", yeah.
You got to fight for those inches.
2-inch pumps. Now, Colin Klein on 2nd and 15, going after the middle again. Off the fingertips again of Chris Harper. How about it back-to-back for Jeremy Reeves?
Was that a replay? Because it was exactly the same throw.
Well, they ran that delay counter back-to-back.
Well, okay, but this is for the touchdown. This is for the marbles to their big receiver. Here's Harper on the outside now. Again, it's just one-on-one. There's no help from the safety. Nobody. And again, Joel, great timing without the hook. Oh, that's a tremendous play by Reeves on back-to-back shots in the end zone.
So now 3rd and 15. Empty backfield for Klein. And a timeout taken. First of the half for either side, and it comes 4 minutes into the 2nd quarter. So we'll come right back and see what Bill Snyder's Wildcats do on a 3rd and 15 at the Iowa State 25. For our peak performer, and our peak performer of the year defensively for Kansas State, no question, Arthur Brown. Baylor, Kansas State in Manhattan, October 10th. Play after play. He was sideline to sideline, and late in the game, there's Arthur Brown coming up with the pick as RG3 was hit. That set up the game-winning field goal. Kansas State 36-35, and he was also the Big 12's Defensive Player of the Week following that victory. Now, Colin Klein out of the timeout, 3rd and 15. K-State, the 25 of Iowa State. Down by 6. Little twist up front. And now Colin Klein buying some time. And He'll get it down to the 20. Not much there, though, on the completion as Broderick Smith took it in. You know, our Geico quote, and it comes also from Arthur Brown, playing to be one of the few teams in state history to win 11. It'd be a great honor to be a part of a team that works that hard, understands that it is not about any individual, all about the team. And after spending a few minutes with Arthur yesterday, we can understand why now. What a gentleman.
He really is. He's
well thought out guy.
Yeah, you know, he's from Wichita. He went to Miami, transferred back here, and wanted to be closer to his family. And he is now, and they get a chance to watch him every week.
Cantelli sends it on its way. The 36-yarder is good. So Anthony Cantelli, another guy out of Wichita, and a junior just like Arthur Brown, makes it a three-point affair in Manhattan. 13-10 Cyclones. What an amazing run this has been for Kansas State this year. Picked to finish close to the bottom in the Big 12. And what a job they did when they had to face a team from Texas. A sweep of the Texas schools. When they beat Texas November 19th, it gave K-State a sweep of all four teams of the Big 12 for the first time in a single season. They beat Baylor, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, finally the Longhorns 2 weeks ago. And among active coaches, well, Bill Snyder just a game ahead of Gary Pinkel among Big 12 coaches and fourth best right now in the country.
But he is K-State football. You know, I mean, how many other guys have their stadium named after him while they're coaching? Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
Line drive will be picked up by a horn at about the 4. He's got West in front of him, and a nice little alley over to the right side past the 30. Boy, the returns have been outstanding, and usually it's the special teams for K-State that stand out. He's got it out to the 33. The defensive plays, though, of Jeremy Reeves, the D-back, and especially on wide receiver Harper, they seem to score.
Well, you know what I see here, Joel, is I see an Iowa State team that has great athletes. And you can see how they matched up against Oklahoma State because athletically they can play with them. This is a very good secondary. We haven't even seen a play from Leonard Johnson yet, who I think is their best cornerback. But Reeves making big stops, and it doesn't look like it's any kind of a fluke to me that they beat the Cowboys.
Wide on the zone read, and another huge hole. Hartman got him deep into the secondary, but he's close to a first down with more on Jeremy Reeves. Let's join Jim Knox.
Yeah, great defense stand by Iowa State's defense, keeping Kansas State out of the end zone. Definitely because of Jeremy Reeves. Couple of great plays. Now, Paul Rhodes, the head coach of Iowa State, came over and said, hey, guys, you know what you're going to be setting up for now? They did 2 post plays in the end zone. Now look for the post corner. Post corner. We'll see what that takes place next series. K-State has the football, guys.
All right, Jim. We'll look forward down the road to the post corner route.
Well, it takes time in order to run the post corner. And Colin Klein has been under pressure from Iowa State. We'll see.
Empty the backfield. Now they'll bring Hollis into the set. Van Duran Hollis gets it, trying to go low, but he is hit real quickly by Raphael Guidry, the senior tackle. Gain of only 3 at the midfield stripe.
Kansas State has specialized in taking the football away. They've got 17 interceptions, 7 fumble recoveries, but really the Iowa State's their discipline today. They haven't been able to do that. They haven't taken the ball away, and that's what they have feasted on throughout the season.
They've now got a little over 100 yards rushing the Cyclones. And Barnett getting a block from the running back is put down after Woody tried to help him. He dives to the 48, still short by 5.
I like to see that. You see, Hartman just laid the wood that time to Barnett, but Barnett gets up smiling. He ain't hurting me, Hartman. You know, a little talking back and forth right there. Some guys get more fired up the harder they get hit. You know, Barnett, not a whole lot to him. 6 foot, 200 pounds, but he's tough now. Texas tough. Setting up a big third down.
UCLA and Texas playing basketball later today. Most of you are staying right here, though. We will be here at Kansas State with 8:05 to play and movement. False start coming up.
False start. Offense. Number 69. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
It's Kyle Lichtenberg, the sophomore from Bettendorf.
Well, Iowa State plays a lot of players up front. Lichtenberg is the right tackle in the little flinch. Good call by the line judge. Backing him up 5.
Rocked a little bit back.
Now that's the crowd noise too now.
Another
they got him again.
Well, there's movement. The old inducement.
I think it's the same guy, and I think Lichtenberg, and they're going to take him out. But that's the crowd noise, and
they'll mark it off against Iowa State.
Offense number 69. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So the inexperience, and really in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, okay, all right, look, I'm not going to pick on him, but here's the technique. At right tackle, on the road with this noise, you got to stretch your eyeballs. The left eye's got to go to the ball. The right eye's got to go to the man. You have to learn how to do that when you play in hostile stadiums on the road at any level.
Now on 3rd and 15. Barnett in the flat with White, who drops it. Wanted to run, tried to turn around and survey the situation before he had it.
Well, those are the mistakes that have cost Iowa State in some other games this year. But that's 3 bad mistakes in a row. 2 flinches by the offensive tackle, a drop by the back, and really they had a pretty good drive going that stalled because of their own self-inflicted wounds.
So Barnett now 7 of 10 passing, and it could be better. He's had 2 drops out of the 3 misses. Johnson waits for the punt from Vanderkamp. He'll take it inside the 10 of the line drive. Van, as he's hit, slowed down. Van scrambles his way across the 20. What an effort. The 21. So Iowa State still up by 3, and they can thank the defensive effort so far. The big plays they've made, especially deep in their own territory.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime.
After this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Bob Hope. Fortunately, knowing how to play the sousaphone is not a requirement for dotting the I in Script, Ohio. Fans show their loyalty in all kinds of ways. Ours, just buy another Hyundai.
Pac-12 basketball tips off for the weekend. First on Saturday, Texas heads west for a showdown against Joshua Smith and UCLA. Then on Sunday, the ACC and Pac-12 collide when NC State battles it out with Stanford. It's an amazing college basketball lineup this weekend on Fox Sports Houston.
She's packed up her bags and she's heading out. She said, I know that I'm ready. With such beautiful doubt. It seems you want nothing, but I want it all. There's got to be good reason for these dead air phone calls.
Find your other half at plentyoffish.com, the most visited dating site in America.
Abandoned and lost. From the dark, cold streets of the city to a cage in the local shelter, to heaven, your lap.
Texans Rag, Monday on Fox Sports Houston.
13-10 game as K-State gets it back. It's been an incredible year in the Big 12. Our Whataburger, what a play from the Big 12 this past year. It involves, and why not, Robert Griffin III. He's looking for Tevin Reese. This is against Oklahoma, November 19th in Waco. Well, it doesn't hurt that Kendall Wright caught it in stride for 87 yards and a score. And on our Heisman watch, he's got to be included along with Andrew Luck, Richardson of Alabama. And what a second half of the season, the whole year, but in particular the way Matt Barkley picked it up.
Boy, all the way to the 50-0 finish against UCLA. But what would Baylor be? They're 8-3 with Robert Griffin. What would they be without him? I don't know that Art Briles' team would have 3 wins right now in Waco without the play of Robert Griffin III.
Graduated, he's only a junior, don't forget. He graduated in 3 years, a redshirt junior, working on his master's now. Now Colin Klein on the deep out, and Thompson's got it. Boy, well played It's to the 40-yard line by both quarterback and receiver.
But that's a nice throw by Colin Klein. Really nice. Off play action on the run. Little bootleg fake here. Sets his feet and hits Thompson right in stride. The two best throws today. That's only the third completion, but the two big ones are to Thompson, one of them for the touchdown throw.
That was the 68-yard touchdown over the middle. So inside of 7 with the clock moving.
This is a smart kid. He could take these instructions from the sideline, change the play, make the adjustments in his head.
Man calls his own number. How about that read? Boy, he's got maneuverability for a guy that's about 6'5".
Well, he can change direction. And I came in thinking, is this Tim Tebow? I mean, this is what Tebow is doing in Denver. I mean, just getting behind the line, seeing where the guys are going, and then really having good vision to be able to change, dart, change direction, find the opening, and then always falling forward for extra yards.
And being around him, though, and seeing him a couple of times this year, and especially down on the field,
yeah.
It seems a slender guy compared to Tebow.
Yeah, he's not built like a Mack truck like Tebow, but he's still young. I mean, I think he's going to get bigger and stronger.
Hubert slams it between his guard tackle over to the left side. Willie Scott gets to him short of the first down by 1.5 yards.
But let's face it. I mean, Bill Snyder's recipe for success, and let's face it, nobody's had the type of success that he's had here at Kansas State, is they're going to run the ball. They're going to take care of the run and stop it. They're not going to turn the ball over. And really, Colin Klein from the quarterback position is doing those things. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't give it away, yet he can still chip at you with the running game that he presents.
This is a guy, Colin Klein, that was homeschooled. He played high school football, but he was home during the day, and he's got the first down.
Look at that.
He's got 5. And is that a silent count? Because he got it so quick.
That's just a nudge from his center, B.J. Finney. I like my quarterbacks, 6'5", though. They can see over the trees. They've got better vision. The release is over the top. This kid is going to fill out, physically a little bit more here as he continues to play. Finney, how about Finney? I mean, he was a walk-on here at Manhattan, Kansas, earning the starting center job. 2 freshmen starting at center today. Farniak for Iowa State, and Finney for Kansas State.
Yeah, he's a walk-on last year. He's a redshirt freshman this year from Andale, Kansas. Now, the misdirection and deception of Colin Klein. He's got it for 1 yard, and that is it at the 44. Forced out as Jake Knott got there. And we mentioned 92 a game. That is 6th best in the Big 12. There's 5 over 1,000. And you see, well, they got him at 5th, but the stats say 6. So Colin Klein at 92 a game. Behind Randall, Gray, Josie, and Ganaway.
And he's the only quarterback. I mean, everybody else lines up at running back in that group.
2nd and 9. It's the only 5 over 1,000 in Big 12 play. Hubert again. And with a burst down to the 39. So key 3rd down coming up out of field goal range. Cleon Lang made the stop once again for Iowa State.
And I'm impressed so far, Joe, because obviously with all the rain that we've had today, a wet field, a slick ball, Kansas State has done a great job again of taking care of the football through almost 2 quarters. Haven't laid it on the ground, and that's a credit, I think, to the big hands that Colin Klein has, and just the fact that they work on this ball security constantly, preach it, and it pays off.
Started back at the K-State 21, and now a 3rd and 4 at the 39 of Iowa State. Man, throws it, and that's a backwards pass. That's out of bounds. That's like a fumble.
That was a
They lost yardage at the 44. So
Klein's upset with himself.
That's a lateral. That's backwards.
Because the play is very creative. Because there's a read option fake. There's Colin Klein running into the line of scrimmage. Then you're going to get the bubble screen, but the ball's thrown behind Thompson on the outside.
And do you think the coaching staff is involved over on Iowa State sideline? They were all over it.
They were on to recover it.
Aaron Horn waiting for the door punt. Man, with a fair catch, he's got it cleanly. Back at about the 12-yard line. Top of the field, good one going in the first half in Manhattan. 3:28 to play in the first 30 minutes in a 3-point game.
He wears it on his face, too.
So outside of the 12, call it the 13 officially. The drive starts there. Man, nice little hole for Woody. Got tripped up though. Outside of the 16 for a gain of 3.
See, I think for Paul Rhodes here, I think you want to be aggressive. You want to try to score, but not at the expense of being foolish with the football. Ball security still very important deep in your own territory. Still got the lead. I think you got to stay aggressive with it. See if you can make a play on the outside and one of those special athletes' hands.
This is not a high-scoring team. The Cyclones of Iowa State. Option, Barnett, and he's belted. Coming across. They held him up. For the pop by Trey Walker, Garrett had him low. And a big third down coming up because K-State still has 2 timeouts on the board. And I mentioned they're not a high-scoring team. Well, they're 8th in the Big 12 in scoring, a little over 23 points a game. So you better maximize each possession. You can't afford to turn it over, especially against the team that is 7th best in the country in turnover margin.
Well, that's what hurt them last week in that loss to Oklahoma. They played in bad weather, wind and rain, and they turned it over too many times.
It'll be 3rd and about 5. Ben way ahead of his intended target, Darius Reynolds. And maybe the inexperience showed there a little bit.
Well, I mean, that was just one of those throws that Paul Rhodes was talking about. Just, you know, not accurate, way in front of Darius Reynolds. Good coverage by Nigel Malone on it, but really Reynolds never had a chance for it. In K-State, it's a good series. They're going to turn this ball over, and they should get good field position as a result.
Vanderkamp averaging better than 44 on his career. And if it stays that way, that's an Iowa State record. It's brought back by Tremaine Thompson from the 37. Great coverage downfield, though, by the Cyclones. Jared Bracken's there as we head down to Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, Joel, coming up on the Sprint Halftime Show, we'll take a look back at the plays of the year in the Big 12. You don't want to miss this. A lot of outstanding plays. Also, how about maybe the play, not only the plays of the year, but also the game of the year. Not just in the Big 12, but perhaps in the entire country. That's coming your way on the Sprint Halftime Show, Joel.
Well, triple overtime with Iowa State was pretty good.
That was good, but there's one better than that.
Quadruple?
Yeah.
13-10. Iowa State, but a lot of time left and 2 timeouts for K-State with great field position at their own 38. It'll be Hubert joining Klein in the backfield.
You got to be thinking at least field goal here with 2 minutes to go.
It's almost like they wanted middle screen. Instead, the slide, it's a catch, and Tannehill's got the first down. Going down to get it, Travis Tannehill, the junior from Overland Park.
Well,
and did he get it?
Well, that's that time Klein really rescued the play. Tannehill went down. It's a good catch. Sliding catch. Didn't allow the ball to hit the carpet.
Klein steps up with the pressure. Now the deep ball. Man, good coverage. Boy, Jeremy Reeves has been all over Chris Harper, and that was a good play. Harper was trying to free himself up, find some space, but Reeves had position.
Well, again, I mean, Harper was trying to go through Reeves to get to the ball. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive for it. There it is on the outside. This is good man-to-man sticky coverage. He beats him to the inside. He takes him away from him. You can't play it any better. That's what you call a man turn, Joel. You actually turn into the man, and you don't start looking for the ball until he looks for it. Third-grade coverage by Reeves today.
Yeah, in the left hand of Harper, he tried to throw Reeves out of the way at the end of that play. 93 seconds left in that. And now on 2nd and 10. Pocket holds up for the pop over the middle to Hubert. Breaks a tackle for the first down. A rare broken tackle as he got away from Jake Knott, who we've been talking about. They don't get away from him often.
No, but there's good cup protection this time for Klein to be able to get to his check down. Looking down the field. That time he didn't have to break the pocket. And you're right, Jake Knott doesn't miss many of those tackles. It's a good check down receiver out of the backfield for Kansas State.
So they started their own 38. Now down to the 31. This is about where they stalled, and a timeout is coming up. Iowa State uses the first of the first half. Now, this is the last possession. They stalled right inside the 40. Well, this college football season, Fox Sports is proud to support Dream Foundation. We're making dreams come true for adults facing life-threatening There's no greater time to help those who need than when time is limited. So text DREAM to 41518. Donate $10 and turn dreams into lasting memories. The Bedlam Series will determine the champion of the Big 12 this year. That's later today. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. You can never predict. I've done a number of Bedlam Series games. They are so much fun to be a part of.
It's in Stillwater.
Yep.
And let's face it, if Oklahoma wins and Kansas State wins here, there's a three-way tie for first place. It's 7-2 between Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and K-State.
So you think they're rooting just a bit for Oklahoma? Just a bit?
Might be having an eye on that.
Because officially,
it's always hard to do what you got to do.
You'd have a share of the title.
Yes.
You would know the tiebreaker, but you'd have a share.
But you'd still be conference champions.
Now Klein on 1st and 10. Scrambling efficiently again. Tracked down, but he got 6. Down to the 25. Patrick Neal on his back.
This Colin Klein has good radar. Good radar of where the defender is. I mean, he's gonna feel the pressure, and then when he breaks away, he feels it coming from his left. That's why he darts back to the right, picking up just a few extra yards.
Inside of a minute to play in the half on 2nd and about 4. Good zone read. Klein's got it inside the 15. First down. Well, you talked about radar and awareness. Well, great vision.
This is not easy to teach, Joel, because this is a read option off of the nose tackle. Watch what they do here coming down the line. Look at that read. I mean, perfect. They're all going outside here. He sees this opening. They take Knott out of the way. Big run up the middle for Klein.
Yeah, Latimer had the running back completely.
Yep.
Now Klein on 1st down inside the 15. And in the flat, nobody covered. Hubert at the 5. He's down to the 1, 1st and goal. Plenty of time.
Yep.
That's a first down and will stop the clock. And don't forget about the timeouts. K-State still has 2.
And don't forget, Colin Klein.
Kansas State. That's their second team timeout of the half. This is a 30-second timeout.
One of the few breakdowns for Iowa State because they did not account for the back of the flat.
Yeah,
assignment.
Well, it is. I mean, Hubert's just going to slip out in a little flat route this time. And nobody picks him up. Nice vision by Colin Klein. And Hubert's going to try to score, but nobody has been better in the Big 12 at scoring rushing touchdowns than Colin Klein. Came in today with 25 rushing touchdowns. Ricky Williams, the great Heisman Trophy winner from Texas, has the record with 27.
That's in the Big 12.
In the Big 12, yes.
And then out of quarterbacks nationally, Ricky Dobbs set it 2 years ago. The Naval Academy's Ricky Dobbs with 27. 1st and goal from the 1. He's going himself. Is he in? No call yet. From the linesman on the near side. Yes, number 26 for Colin Klein, and K-State takes the lead.
He is special. He is special. What a drive by Colin Klein. And the Wildcats. Going to stick it right behind his right guard, Colton Freeze. And the center, BJ, you can see just get Zach Hansen. The Maulers all get in. Good push.
Yeah, he's
Good
in
push.
easily.
Yeah. Clyde Offner, the senior, sticks it right behind those guys. They score just as much as what the quarterback does.
Cantelli for the point after.
Now,
Iowa State used a timeout. Don't forget about the blocked extra point. Otherwise, Iowa State would have 14 on the board.
True.
But Raphael Guidry busted through on the second score, a touchdown run by Woody. That came with 11 seconds left in the first quarter. And that's the reason. There's 13 up there for Iowa State. K-State now trying to go up by 4. Well, Bill Snyder, in this his 20th season at Kansas State, his 3rd year back after a 3-year break. And now, well, if a win today and a win in a bowl game, 11 is a sensational season for a team that nobody expected this kind of production from.
Well, you can't just argue with success and the way that Bill Snyder does it. He's demanding, but what he demands wins football games.
They may be one of the most disciplined teams I've ever seen over the years.
Yeah.
Now Cantelli, the point after, and a 4-point lead on Seniors Day for K-State as the Wildcats have their first lead of the contest, and it comes with 20 seconds left in the half. So it was all orchestrated by Klein. A couple of nice runs. Had the tight end on that pass and a good grab at that by Tannehill as the key plays to set it all up after starting back at his own 38.
He's a dual threat, Joel. I mean, he can beat you in a lot of different ways, and he gives you tremendous leadership at the same time. I mean, you're going to see just sticking it with the toughness up the middle, making the right read. I mean, he is one of the best runners in the Big 12. You can see him just patient, getting behind his offensive line. The big throw down the field to Thompson, 68-yard touchdown throw. The first touchdown of the day, and this is their second touchdown. Just a tough 1-yard run right up the middle of the goal line. People trying to rip the ball out of his hands, but he is strong and tough, and you're not going to get the ball out of his hands.
Well, K-State has 230 yards of total offense, 137 passing for Klein. You see there's 63, and on the year, he has accounted for 69% of their total yards from scrimmage.
That's amazing. That's an amazing stat.
Horn across the 35 to the 37. 16 seconds left in the half, and a timeout on the board for Iowa State as he's put down quickly by Randall Evans.
It's been a great first half, Joel. Really has. I thought, neither team has really been hurt by the conditions. The fact that they started the game an hour and a half late, the wet ball, the mist that has been falling, the temperature. We're seeing two really motivated teams. Iowa State would love to get that 7th win. Bill Snyder would love to get that 10th win and maybe a share of the Big 12 title. An awful lot to play for and some good football being played.
Well, a snap will be taken, and that'll do it. And as you mentioned, a real even and entertaining first 30 minutes of play. So two old rivals head to the locker room in a 4-point ball game. The Wildcats, very impressive, especially at home when they're on top at the break. Let's head over to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Joe. Walking with Coach Snyder, heading to the locker room. Coach, you got to be pleased. You got a little momentum here late in the first half on how Colin Klein got in the end zone.
Well, I mean, we haven't played like I would like for us to play. We've had some trouble in getting ourselves able to run the football as we would like to run it. It took us a long time. We had like 6 yards in the first quarter of the ball game. But, maybe we're starting to make the turn. That I don't know. We got some problems in the kicking game. Our kickoffs have hurt us. Defensively, we've just been in a hole. Field position has been a big problem for us throughout the course of the game.
I appreciate the time. Thank you, Coach. Joel.
Assessing the overall situation, and he's dead on because they did have a very slow start on the ground over the first 15 minutes of play. Well, coming up next, it'll be our Sprint halftime show. Big 12 plays of the year. We'll look back at K-State's unbelievable quadruple game, quadruple overtime with Texas A&M. Preview of tonight's Big Ten championship game as well, all on the Sprint halftime show. Good start, though, for Paul Rhodes. Bill Snyder, second quarter, a good one. A close one.